Hello, everyone. Welcome to Separation and Divorce Coaching Ireland. I am here with Prudence Moneypenny, who is a personal finance expert. So, Prudence, do you want to give us your background?
I'd be delighted, Melanie. Thank you very much for having me. My name is Aoife Gaffney, and I am the founder of Prudence Moneypenny Coaching, a money coaching business founded by a woman for women, helping women step into their own sense of personal financial empowerment.
Fantastic. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a video every week, introducing you to people who have been through divorce and come out the other side. And Prudence is going to tell, or Aoife, as you prefer to go by, is going to tell us a little bit about her experience. So Aoife, give us a little bit of background about what went well during your divorce, or what would you have done differently if you went back to do it again?
Gosh, if I was to do it again, so just to give you a little bit of background, I got married very young and divorced. Well, when I got married, it was so long ago, divorce didn't even exist in Ireland. So that'll just give you an idea of how long ago it was. So from the time of separation to the time of divorce was a fairly big time span. So I will focus predominantly on the separating, and then, because I hadn't learned my lesson, got into another long-term relationship that didn't go according to plan. So that was slightly different because there wasn't
divorce only became legalized in Ireland about 25 years ago. Is that right?
Something like that, yeah. So I must have been about 7 when I got married. So just to kind of put things into perspective. So divorce, in a sense, is relatively new in Ireland. And so what I think would certainly have helped me enormously through the process is somebody to help me through the emotional overwhelm. So there's a lot of practical help out there. This is what you need to do. You open a different bank account, you do the stuff, you make a list. But I didn't feel that there was anybody in my corner that was focused exclusively on me. And I mean, apart from a family member or apart from a trusted friend, because after a while your friends will get fed up with you or will sometimes, and friends always have your best intentions at heart. But if your friend is not in a great space either, sometimes what can happen is that you both can be a bit stuck. So a coach, an impartial, compassionate person in your corner, I think certainly for me would have made an enormous difference. And in both of those circumstances, I was very lucky. I did have some friends, but it put a huge burden on your friends if you're constantly relying on them. So having somebody to give me the tools, to give me a clear, proven framework to bring me through what can be a very emotional, overwhelming process. I think I not only would have got through it faster, I would have got through it probably faster, sooner, and with less stress, anxiety, and even financial outlay. Because the faster you can get through something, the less money you're paying out to all of the other people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think it can take a little while to get through the separation and then the divorce, and lean on family and friends for all that time can get a little bit difficult. And sometimes you need someone who's not going to be as diplomatic, or who could be more impartial and doesn't know you as well. So just like it's hard to coach friends, it's the same when it comes to friendships. So having someone outside of that space can really help during that situation.
If you want somebody unbiased, so sometimes friends can be hugely well-meaning, but your friend will want to kind of support you 100%. And sometimes the friend, it can turn into a little bit of, make sure you get 50% of everything. And that's not what it's about. If you're separating or divorcing or going your separate ways, it's about managing the process as compassionately as you possibly can and trying to make sure that both parties come out in a win-win situation, unless something hideous has happened, and that's completely different. And I was lucky in that both of my relationship breakdowns, they just happened. There was no it was nothing massively complicated about it. It was just personality clashes. So I was quite lucky in that. But
Yeah.
I think looking back on both of those experiences, because they were quite different. I mean, one was like a very long time ago. I honestly didn't know whether I was coming or going, and it was also pre-internet. So I had any piece of correspondence had to be done by post. I didn't have a mobile phone. So I didn't even have a phone in the house, actually. So I had to be running up and down the road to make phone calls. So that made everything a little bit quite challenging, but it was.
I can see that Aoife really takes care of herself. She must use some special face cream or something like that. She looks amazing.
I have good filters set up on Zoom. Coaching didn't exist. Coaching didn't exist. Certainly coaching didn't exist when I divorced. It did sort of exist when I was going through a subsequent breakup of a long-term relationship. And it was I couldn't manage, to be honest, I couldn't manage my own emotions. And I really, really struggled to manage my own emotions. So I either kept them internalized, and actually I became extremely unwell. I became physically extremely unwell. I got what I thought was a cold and turned into bronchitis. And so I was sick for about 5 months. And I think that was all of the emotions that I internalized. The emotional
overwhelm. Yeah, a lot of people,
it was too much,
go through that. I'm actually low on battery. Can you believe it, on my computer? The emotional overwhelm is a big thing that a lot of people are going through at the moment as well. Yeah.
So I think if there had been a coach available, I would definitely have hired somebody. I genuinely would. And I was leaning on people and paying out money to lean on people, but I was leaning on the wrong people. So I was leaning too heavily on my GP. I mean, she was great. She was very, very helpful, but probably not the right. I was trying to look for something that she wasn't able to do. So I was kind of looking for her for coaching, but she's your GP. I was leaning on people, but leaning on the wrong people.
Yeah, I was leaning on my lawyers or friends, and most of them, were in happy relationships and we're unable to really give the advice. So I understand that. So Aoife, I mean, I know that I've used your services in the past when I was going through my own divorce, and I really appreciated the help you gave me with the finances. And I know you've built that up even more. Do you want to explain how you might be able to help people who are going through divorce themselves?
Absolutely. So what I help ladies who leave. And so you might be looking to leave your job. You might be looking to leave your house. You might be looking to leave the country. You might be looking to leave your partner. So I work with ladies who leave, and I help you unravel what you have raveled. So I work with women on their emotional side of things. So work with the money mindset. And we look at the underlying beliefs, patterns, and habits that have shaped and formed the reasons why we do things the way we do at the moment. So if you feel sort of somewhat stuck, or maybe you have reached a glass ceiling, or you've reached an income limit, either with yourself in your business or in your job, I can help you look at those beliefs and help you install new and empowering beliefs to help you move past that.
Yeah, it's very helpful, because the financial piece is a huge piece. Yeah.
The financial piece is huge. Yeah. So it is huge. I used to work in the finance space, and I worked in that space for about 20 years. And so coaching and money mindset coaching is slightly different. It's similar, but slightly different. And you'll get hold of me at prudencemoneypenny.com.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, because when people are going through divorce, the financial piece is so important, not only even for people who are thinking of getting a divorce. Often they don't, because of the financial piece. And then when they're going through the divorce, it can be so expensive, and they come out the other end is one of the biggest pieces that they then struggle with afterwards, is getting back on their feet, and reorganizing their finances. And getting a lot of people do need to become more self-reliant, as you talked about, and get back on their feet, restart their careers. They might have been stay-at-home mom for a long time, and now they need to get back out there and start earning some of their own money. And how do they do that? And how do they use the incomes they have at the moment? So it's such an important piece, just to give people that confidence to get through, because once you know that you can, you understand your finances, better, and you know what you can maybe bring in yourself, it just gives you that empowerment to just move through it and get back and get that new life started again.
It's huge. And, once you understand your patterns of behavior that you have perpetuated for whatever reason, and we, through coaching, look at where those patterns of behavior have come from, so then help the person install new beliefs. And if there are children involved, it's really important not to pass on those limiting beliefs. But by empowering yourself, you can then pass on healthy patterns and beliefs around money to children. And also I'll work with families as well. So how do you get other people in the family or in the household on board with your vision, with your big why? And money is simply one part of that bigger vision.
That's fantastic. So www.prudencemoneypenny.com.
That's it.
Thank you very much for your time and giving us your views on your own personal experience. And thanks. And I look forward to talking to you again.
Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.